Mark Cuban, always sparking controversy on X, said, I won't vote for anyone that doesn't believe climate change is real, which leaves us with two scenarios. Mark Cuban is evil, believes climate change is real, and is doing everything in his power to destroy the planet. Or he's lying, he doesn't actually think climate change is real, and he's going to enjoy his ocean view property. A lot of people pointing out that there were a few big stories. One, he has a private jet collection, and that he also recently bought in Laguna Beach ocean view property. I mean, it's oceanfront-ish. They say it's on the beach, but he says not really. It's got a good view. I'm going to lay it down and make it simple for you, okay? So I tweeted in response to this. Mark Cuban said, I won't vote for anyone that doesn't believe climate change is real. And I said, I don't listen to anyone who claims climate change is real but owns oceanfront properties that, by their explanation, would be underwater in 20 years. And so let's break this down. I got a map for you. First, we have this from Medium. Step inside the $19 million beach house Mark Cuban got himself for Christmas. The Mavericks owner got himself a nice, albeit pricey, Christmas present, a gorgeous oceanfront property in Laguna Beach that he plans on using as a vacation home. Now, of course, X is filled with many low cognition people. I am not saying I don't believe in climate change. I absolutely believe in climate change. I believe there are many contributing factors to climate change. I've read quite a bit about it. It's hard to know. There's a big debate as to whether humans are the sole driver of it, a moderate driver of it, a small contributor, or not at all. Many people talk about ocean emission levels for CO2 are massive, substantially more than humans. But I do believe it's fair to say humans are dramatically altering the landscape of this planet. What that means, I can't tell you because vague predictions. We don't know. The garbage in the Pacific Ocean is a bad thing. Microplastics everywhere is a bad thing. But we are seeing bacteria evolve that eats the plastics. So it's hard to know what this becomes. I don't think pollution's a good thing. I'm concerned about colony collapse disorder among bees, dead zones in the ocean where there's no oxygen, and of course, windshield phenomenon where people are noticing the bug population's collapsing. It's concerning. That's the bottom of the food chain for us here on the surface, and it could lead to catastrophe for humans. Now, what do we do about that? Honestly, I can't tell you. I mean, we don't know. Let me break this down. I said I don't listen to people who claim climate change is real, but own oceanfront properties. I am not directly saying Mark Cuban, but there are many people who do own oceanfront properties, literally on the beach, that will be underwater. Barack Obama's property at Martha's Vineyard will lose a ton of its value and submerge over the next couple of years. Now, they say by 2050, NASA says it could be about a foot, up to 12 inches. And there's other estimates that it could be way lower than that. I don't know. We'll see. But if you're going to come to me and say, we got to do something about climate change, I'll say, okay, what can we do? And they go, you got to stop flying on planes. You got to stop driving so much. Get an electric car. I'll be like, okay, great. What are you going to do? And then I say, me? I don't know. I got a bunch of private jets, a massive yacht, a beachfront property. And I'm just like, okay, dude, you're lying to me. All right. The dude's sitting there shoveling down a big old pile of nachos while claiming nachos kill people. I'm not going to listen to you, dude. Like, if you come to me and you say you can't eat seed oils because seed oils are bad for you, and then you're sneaking Big Macs, I'm going to be like, my friend, I don't know how much I'm interested in believing you. You don't actually think it's that big of a deal. Luke. I'm just picking on Luke. But no, I mean, seriously, I get it. You know, you might say, hey, don't eat this food. It's bad. And then someone eats it. And it's like, do as I say, not as I do. Sure, seed oils can be bad for you, but it's hard to avoid all the time. And sometimes you have some seed oils. I don't get this idea where it's like, quick, climate change. We got to stop it. And then it's just like simple flying inside Mark Cuban's private jet collection. What? This is from 7 months ago. Mark Cuban is a huge fan of his aircraft collection. Are you kidding me? His collection. He owns two. Okay, he's got two. He's got a 757 and a Gulfstream G550. Look at this, man. Now, my friends, you guys know I am a flyer of the PJs. Many a controversy has emerged over my flying on private jets. Spare me, dude. There was this big thing that happened where Patrick Bet-David, Valuetainment, reached out to my team asking me to do the Cuomo debate. And my team said it was Saturday morning, and they're like, Tim's doing the show Friday night, so he can't fly. There's no way he'd make it. And they were like, what about Saturday evening? And my team was also like, that's still like incredibly tight. And so my PR person said, is a private jet an option? Because if it is, then he can make it. And they said, yeah, I don't know if we can do that. They said, okay, well, thank you anyway. They got so bent out of shape over the, it's like, dude, we have been flown for big events. Like I've been flown on private jets. We've booked private jets. From here to New York, round trip is $13,000. If we have 9 people and we're going to spend $13,000 to $15,000 round trip, we can leave whenever we want, no security. We get there, we get the job done, we do the show. That's what we did. It makes sense. Like this is a big show. We're putting on an event in New York that costs $200,000. We have, I don't know, $50,000 in ticket sales plus sponsorships. Yet we're not going to waste a day dealing with commercial travel for an entire crew when it's like effectively 9 people. Like I think it was 7 or 8 people we had, and the cost was $13,000 round trip. And it's like, you do it. It's like, what are we're going to fly commercial. It's going to waste way more time and cost about the same thing. Don't get me wrong. If you're going to fly private coast to coast, it could be $100,000 or more. You want to fly to like Florida, it could be like $30,000. So yeah, that's when things are getting like really pricey. But if you're a company that has 8 or 9 employees flying on a single flight, you're looking at $4,000 to $5,000 if they're all traveling. So for twice the cost of the plane tickets, you don't got to deal with security. You can travel at any time you want. You land right where you need to land in the small airport with a car waiting for you. Sometimes it makes sense. Now, so I get that. But the planes we fly on, I'm telling you, they're like turboprop, small junk planes, no bathrooms. All right, that's private flight. Dude, a Gulfstream, whew, that's some amazing stuff right there. And then he's got a 757. Y'all have been on a 757. You probably got a bedroom in a plane like that. Bro, I got to say, I don't know why you need 2 private jets like this. He got it. The Mavericks Boeing. Okay, so it's the Mavericks jet. But I get it. Your entire team and your staff, you're going to fly them on a private jet. I just got to tell you, man, we get it. I get it. I ain't going to come down on you because you want to put your team on one plane and fly them where they need to go. Makes sense. They got to fly in for a game. They got to fly out to the next city for a game. They got to fly to the next city. And you don't want to wait. You can't have them all going through security. It would take too long. They're going to be uncomfortable. They're athletes. They need to be sleeping well. Totally get it. But don't come to me and preach about climate change and tell me what I got to do and vote for a president who's going to cut back on my rights because you think you're special and you get to fly in your own private jet. Okay? I ain't going to rag on a guy who's got a private jet who needs to use one for whatever he wants. I don't care if he has a private jet. I care that he has private jets, oceanfront property, and a yacht while he's ragging on the rest of us talking about climate change. Get out of here, dude. I got it right for you. There's Laguna Beach. Let's zoom in on the beautiful Laguna Beach. I have here the sea level rise viewer from NOAA. So in the next 20 years, we're talking about, I mean, look at the impacted area. This is crazy. Massive impacted area. But for the most part, his property's probably fine. I don't know exactly where his property is. He says it's not beachfront, but it's got a great view. It's probably up high then. See, homie's probably planning for this. You raise the water by 10 feet and you can see what gets wiped out. Laguna Beach actually ain't that bad. Now, the bigger issue is high tide flooding. Basically, everything is going to be impacted by high tide flooding where he is. Now, I will say this. I'm not here to single out Marc Cuban specifically on the properties. Look at this. You see this line where they indicate sea level rise is going to have a big impact? Miami's totally wiped out. I'm not here to say Marc Cuban specifically. I'm here to point out the individuals who talk about climate change and then they buy beachfront property that is specifically at risk. Here's Martha's Vineyard. We've done this one several times. Okay? Obama bought Martha's Vineyard properties, which are going to experience severe damage. I mean, look at this. By 2 feet, the whole area is now dealing with massive flooding and sea level rise. So we're talking in the next 50 to 100 years, by certain estimates, it could maybe get that high. I got to ask why they include up to 10 feet. That wipes everything out. 10 feet of water is nuts. I don't really think that's a reality here. I just think they're full of it. I think they're lying. I don't trust them. With 1 foot sea level rise, Miami is basically wiped out. Look at this. 1 foot. And look at all this damage you get to Miami Beach. Massive. 2 feet. They're still buying up. All this right here is flooded at 1 foot. So we're talking in 20 years, you've got massive damage all over the place in Miami. Look at this. all wiped out, flood completely. I don't buy it, man. You click high tide flooding, it's like everything. People want to live. Look at this. Wow, that's massive. Key West is gone. So the people who are buying properties here, and I'm not blaming all of them, I'm just saying don't come to me and complain about climate change when you actually don't care about it. But as for Marc Cuban, you got no ground to stand on talking about climate change flying around in private jets. That's just it. Get a tour bus. Put the map. Oh, we can't do it. Okay, I don't care if you can or can't do it. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, but our basketball team needs to fly around. It's their business. Okay, well then you are actively saying you're burning the planet to the ground for your business. Scumbaggery. Spare me, dude. And all the rest can too. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.